Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video update for September 30th, last day of September, and it was a doozy. We had a lot of crazy movements, swings back and forth. This is the end of the month. Maybe some window dressing going on there with some portfolio adjustments, but I think in overall today it was more political news than anything else, or coronavirus news. So let's jump in here and we'll talk about, you guys know I like to talk about the S&P 500. It gives us more, the most broad representation of the market. As we can see today, we came out of the gate just super strong here at the open, and just all day long every little pullback was bought, and we came up here 33.93, and I was doing a live session here at this time of day, and we were trying to do an end of the day trade targeting 3400. Now we're only 7 points away from 3400 here, targeting end of the day trade, and we get this massive flush down here. And this was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was a lot of news coming out today, but I think this was Moderna saying that no coronavirus is going to be available before the election, etc. And we came down, and I'm looking at these levels here. This line right here is a skyline. We came down here, and we didn't even quite touch this, which kind of baffled me, and we bounced. You can see that green candle there. We bounced, and I was like, well, this is a pretty good flush down here. We might bounce back, but this is looking very strangely weak to me, and it turned out it was, because we were just we initially and immediately bounced, and then it just faded. And then we were looking at this level to hold, and it did not, and we had a bounce here, and then we came all the way back down here to our target on the downside, which was the opening print here, and we came down and touched that just momentarily for minutes, and then ripped straight back up. So very, very, very confusing day based on big swings and on news-driven events, because if you take out this portion of the day, this was actually pretty normal, just what we want to see, and this is a whole bunch of confusion, right? And so I want to go out on bigger time frames and look at this, but first let's switch over here to the ES so we can look at the overnight data. And as you guys know, we had a presidential debate last night. I'm sure everybody knows by now. And this is the light gray is the overnight session, from here to here. This is the overnight session. So last night, we're trading along, got a little rip up there, rip up there, rip up there. And I'm not sure what happened here. I'm still not sure what happened here. I haven't actually gone back and looked, but it doesn't matter. But this is in the overnight session. And from here, we sold off from about 33.60 down to 32.90, kind of roughly. It's a 70-point move down in a pretty short period of time. Came down, tagged this line, and we actually made our way all the way back up. This is the open, right? I guess right here. And I'm scratching my head going, was this debate news? Was this, and I know Mnuchin said last night that they're polls apart on getting a stimulus deal together, and then this was, we're working on a deal, things are going great, and this may have been some of the, we're not, we still don't have a deal, along with coronavirus news and that kind of thing. So anyway, very, very, very hypersensitive news-driven market here, so we've got to be really careful. And our normal, tells and what we're looking for, correlations and things like that, are just not working at the moment. Our levels are still holding pretty good. As you can see again down here, this level held almost to a tick. And actually this one did too. We've got a mogul up here that held within 1 point. But what I was looking for is 3400. It's a big round psychological number, and then you see this 3408, that big green line right there. That was actually my ultimate target for Friday, and it still is essentially. depending on what happens overnight here. I mean, I've been targeting 3400, 3408 for this Friday. In fact, on Monday we put a butterfly here at 3400, and it's doing pretty well. I would have preferred not to have this pullback, but you know, the market didn't ask me what I wanted, right? So anyway, let's go out here on a little bit longer time frame, and I'll show you again what I'm looking at. You see this? These voodoo lines here are very important. This green line here is our tree line up above us, and a very big magnet that we were so close to right here, 7 points away from right here touching. And again, my projection was that we would get there by this coming Friday, in 2 days from now. You know, again, I still think we get there, but this is a very important level for us to watch, and I'll show you why in just a minute. But let me go out to show you kind of what our range bound chop looks like. So we've got tree line up here, we've got snow line right here, and see we held there. We did poke through it right here at the opening print and came right back up, held here. So you know, we're very we've got very much support right here. We will probably have resistance here the first time we hit it. Let me show you what I'm talking about here on a longer time frame. And as you can see, and let me take these off real quick. It's much easier to see, and I will show you kind of what I'm thinking here. So again, this is a 1 year time frame. We come up, we tag this tree line here, and then I don't know that we get through it the first time, and that's typical, you know, that sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Here we did not. That was the all-time high. Here we did. We got through it, and we kind of took it out and came up and just tagged that snow line. Notice the difference in the prices there. Very, very, you know, 1 point away. So here, I think we probably come up, tag this, maybe pull back. We've been doing this consolidation thing, and that's the reason I think that we don't just rip through this thing and keep going. If you pull up a chart of the NASDAQ, it looks the same way. We're a little bit further away from the tree line at this point. But again, what I would think for the next couple of days is that if we do not get through this, you know, we pull back, and first target would, generically speaking, would be that snow line there, 3297 or 3300, you know, and then the next one would be 3229 on the SPX. Now we do have fib levels in between here, so it wouldn't be that smooth, you know, it would be some of this chop stuff. But on the other hand, if we do break through, then this line becomes support, and you know, who knows where we go up here. We do have payrolls on Friday, so you really need to be aware of that. I have been trading, you know, again, very few number of trades, and trying to really be selective on my trades, and not, you know, you just don't want to have too many trades on this news-driven market, as we saw today, how it can just be wild one way or another. And those are big swings that we're having, so you got to be careful with that. Try to pick the honey badger kind of ish stocks, and I don't really have any right now that aren't getting closer to extensions, so I don't have anything just fantastic in my mind. Again, I'm being very selective here. So we continue, you know, we trade, you know, day by day and level by level as we go. Watch your shorter term time frames, like 21 EMA, 34 EMA, for example, 50 EMA or SMA, and you know, and use those as kind of guides on a real short-term basis, because we really don't, you know, there's no way to know right now which way we're going to break from here. We'll know a little bit more after Friday when we have payrolls, and that gives us, you know, the health of the economy type thing, or employment, etc. So until then, I'm just going to kind of be managing what I've got. Very few number of positions, sitting on a lot of cash, just waiting. It's the best thing to do. Be very careful in this market, because you can be right and wrong in the same day, just as, you know, as you can see right here, it's massive swings. So news is going to continue to come. It's probably going to increase, you know, as we get closer to the election. So be careful on your trades. Have tight stops and limit your size and your ultimate risk. So that's what I've got for you. Hope this helps. Hope it makes sense. And have a great rest of the day. Thanks.